Hey, so welcome to the VET S.O.S Entrepreneur Spotlight. Hey, remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the S.O.S Lifeline. Hey, so the Veteran Entrepreneur Spotlight is proud to be affiliated with the Neil Haley Show, which is also sponsored by Spirit Point Solution. Hey, so at Spirit Point Solution, it's a one-stop shop for leading edge products, services, and training for multiple vendors. That's from your AI training to corporate gifts and much, much more. Hey, so they've been they have everything you need to help your organization thrive in a modern economy. So check out all the valuable offerings at spiritpointonline.com. And remember to use our code VETSOS on anything that you purchase there, because what that does, it helps us to continue our mission of improving the lives of those who have served. Hey, so on today's show, we are sitting down with Mr. Jake Dyal. He's the CEO and co-founder of Certis Core, where he and his team pioneer advanced data, engineer, and AI solutions for the defense sector. With over 25 years of defense and intelligence experience, Jake combines distinguished military service with a decade as a program manager in the Office of Secretary of Defense. He has also established new standards for AI implementation in sensitive environments and created scalable solutions deployed across multiple defense and intelligence agencies. As a Tampa native, we're not going to hold that against him, he's also dedicated to building the city's startup ecosystem and enjoys mentoring and emerging founders in the defense tech space. Hey, so how's it going today, Jake?
It's good, man. It's good. Sorry, I as a Tampa native, you got to deal with rain and storms and stuff. So I like dipped in here. I was a little wet. Apologies.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm here in Jacksonville. So yeah, we're kind of dealing with some of that too, but I think you guys may have got a little bit worse than we did.
Yeah. Well, we're not dealing with offshoots of Aaron like you guys were. So no issue, man. We're good.
Got you. Got you. So let's go ahead and hop right into it, man. I mean, so you've had an amazing career in the military. Kind of take me back to the time when you getting ready to transition out. I mean, everybody goes through that moment where they've decided to call it, they're done with their career and they want to move on to transition to something else. So what would you say were your three biggest lessons learned from your transition from the military life to what we call civilian life? And then how did this shape who you are today?
Yeah. So it was really incumbent on me to recognize that no one was going to take care of me except me.
Mm,
I had to figure it out, and I had to say, okay, I'm going to create these opportunities for myself, and I have to use the network I have, the relationships I have, in order to get a decent job.
yeah.
And I was fortunate. I had people who were mentors and people who I had worked with who were like, yeah, maybe there's this position or this position for you, but I had to really be the one self motivated to go out and do it every day. No one was going to take care of me but me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely a different beast when you get out where everything is basically taken care of for you in the military. You
Yeah.
from housing, food, shelter, clothing, everything was taken care of for you. So definitely a different animal when you get out. So now take me back also to the moment when you did transition out and you decided to go into the entrepreneur route. I mean, you had a lot of sponsors, a lot of mentors around you. It could have been easy to just get a job and be a federal contractor and do those things that most military folks do. Why go the entrepreneur route?
Yeah. So I tried, I was a federal contractor first,
Hmm.
and then I was a government civilian for a while.
Hmm.
And I got to learn, the acquisition side of things. And really, it kind of dawned on me that, you know, there was an opportunity with this technology that we had been working on in the government. Nobody was actually, putting it all together. Nobody was
Hmm.
doing it. The government had this requirement. So we could do something. And, you know, really the spark was an opportunity got put together.
Mm,
Like me and a couple engineers that I knew were like, "Hey, let's try to go after it." And then we got it. It was like, "Oh crap. Now like we're going to have enough runway, we're going to have enough time to pay our own bills, pay ourselves maybe even a little bit better than we were paid before for a little while. Why not give this a shot?"
yeah,
And it was a really a realization. It's like, why not me? Why not now?
gotcha.
Like I've got an opportunity. Go after it. If I mess up, contracting world's still going to be there. Still got my clearance. Still got all the stuff I did before. Somebody will hire me. So let's give it a shot.
Got you. So you basically, I mean, you basically took a leap of faith. I mean, you were in a contracting job, government job. I mean, you had to have some type of, a little bit hesitation and a little bit of fear that, okay, what if this, like you said, maybe if it doesn't work, I mean, or you go broke or whatever, like you didn't have any of those things when you stepped out on faith and decided to be an entrepreneur.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. They were weighing heavy on my mind.
Okay.
That's why it was very much a like, well, is there the money in the company bank account?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, now there is. All right. Well, we got to, and then there's a contract with more money on it. Maybe we can do this, so that was really how it happened. But at the same time, you know I knew that that wasn't going to go on forever, so I had to make sure that I had confidence in myself to continue to bring those opportunities in, confidence
Hmm.
in the team I was with, that they could deliver on those opportunities, we could do all of the engineering. And it was a lot of um you know long looking at whether or not I could do it and they could do it, and realization was yeah, because I'd been around, I'd been in the military, I've been in these contracting roles, I'd seen very very clearly what the competition was.
Uh-huh.
I thought, hey, why not us? Why not now?
Got you. So now, one follow-on add-on question to that. So if you were giving someone advice who was in your position at the time where they had a government job and they really want to step out and be an entrepreneur, what would you tell that person?
I would tell them, make sure that you're going to work on something that there's a need for.
Mm,
A lot of people want to work on something that they think fixes a problem. But just because it fixes a problem doesn't mean people are gonna pay you for it.
okay.
There's a difference. And it's a hard lesson, where you're like, "Hey, there's this real problem that I know that we could solve." But the next question that somebody who maybe is going to invest in you is gonna ask is like, "Well, is there a marketplace for that thing that you're offering? And are there multiple people out there who are willing to pay you, who will ask for this solution?" So just
Okay.
make sure that there's indeed a market, or there will be.
Mhm.
You're kind of reading the tea leaves a little bit, betting on yourself. But you got to make sure that people will buy what you're selling.
Got you. Got you. So now that you're in the thick of being an entrepreneur, you're doing really well. Like, what is that thing or what are those things that light you up every day that gets you to want to hit the ground running each morning you up? And
Yeah, so for me, it's getting closer back to knowing I can support the mission. Like
Mhm.
that's just what motivates me personally. We did a big demonstration yesterday. We had, a lot of robotic systems in the water, and then we were getting data off of that. And our solution is, AI integration of this sensor data. Somebody can just type in a prompt and get an answer. And that was really motivating because we saw it all working. We were showing SOCOM, and they were all like, "Oh yeah, that's working. That's great." That's Those moments are really what get me out of bed every day to do it,
A-
for sure.
Absolutely. Now we all know being an entrepreneur is not always the best of scenarios. We go through trials and struggles and challenges. Now, what were the hardest or more frustrating parts for you during your journey, and how did you overcome those and deal with them?
Yeah, I'd say one of the more frustrating parts is, one of the guys I founded the company with decided, he's like, I don't know if this is for me.
Wow.
But then, originally we were like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. But then the realization came, it was like, actually, he's right. This isn't for everyone. You have to be able to deal with it. Y- and truly, you have to decide to go down a direction, and then people are going to go with you down that direction, and other people won't. And that's okay. You just have to be all right and confident that, like, this is the right direction. I'm getting good feedback. People are giving us opportunities. That's the way we should go. And if people don't want to follow you down that way, that's okay. It's all right. You can just keep going.
Got you. So now that person that left, I mean, they seem like they were an integral part of what you had and got started. I mean, what was it that stopped you from just saying, you know what, you might be right. Let's just stop it here and not even continue on. Like, what was that did it for you? to keep going?
Yeah, it just continued faith in my teammates
Mm,
and our customers, and what we were doing, and investors and all that. It was like, okay, well, I think we're still doing something good. So, um, and like you said, or like I said before, the entrepreneurship journey isn't for everyone, because there are some wild swings every day. You wake up, you're like, "Oh, this thing's great. Everything's wonderful." You get like a text message from this person you're working with deal with. You're down in the dumps. Oh, it's horrible. And
yeah,
then swing back the other way, and this roller coaster exists because you're so just personally invested into it, and you're struggling with it every day. So you got
gotcha.
to be able to handle it. That's you got to have an outlet. You got to know when to put the phone down, put
Mhm,
on silent, talk to your family,
yeah,
interact with the people you love with. That's what's important.
absolutely. Would you agree that, I mean, your team had played a huge part in you guys continuing on? Because, I mean, if you don't have that type of group around you, it's hard to continue going forward. I mean, there's a
Oh,
lot of doubt.
100%. It takes a village. I'm
Mhm,
really fortunate to be also in an incubator in Tampa. Embark Collective is a great place. They have a lot of coaches. I came from obviously a government background, so
mhm.
I didn't know what marketing was. PR was like personnel recovery to me. Like I didn't know what public relations. I didn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Accounting standards. What are those?
Uh-huh.
We get money in, money goes out. We track it. Like
Yes,
no, there's a lot to business, a lot.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
having a community that's supporting you, and coaches you can rely on, super, super important.
Gotcha. Now, you talk about the team you had around you, which was your community, your tribe. Did you plug into any maybe veteran resources or mentorship programs that would help you launch your business?
No, I didn't.
Mm,
And there are some here in Tampa. The one kind of tribe I really plugged into was that Embark Collective, and then also mentors. We had fortunately some advisors that came on who retired senior people, executives who had been in government a long time, and had seen how companies work, give us advice every now and then. So we're fortunate to have those people willing to join us on the journey, but nothing specifically for the veteran community.
got you. Okay. All right. So now tell us about your business. What exactly do you told us a little bit more about it earlier, but kind of what we can't, whatever's classified enough for us to talk about here on the show that you do, because it sounds pretty classified. So,
No, no, it's not at
okay.
all. What we do is AI driven sensor data fusion. So if you have like a drone that's flying, or in this case we did that SOCOM demo, there was a autonomous underwater vehicle. It's doing some kind of sensor operations. A lot of these robots, they produce data about where they are, and then they produce data from the sensors,
Hmm.
and then someone's going to operate that. Soldier, sailor, Marine, airman, maybe even a guardian. What you got to do is like just give them something simple to ask the question about what it was. So we provide this interface. You can ask a simple question. You put one of those things in the water, you know, you type in a question, show me detections over the last hour, and it'll pop them up on a map for you, put them on a map, give you a summary of what happened, all using AI and a lot of data engineering underneath the hood. Try to
Got you.
abstract away a lot of the complexity,
Hmm.
because like I know, yeah, I've been there. I'm sure you have, where there's all of this other information coming in, and you don't have time to make sense of it. You just need to be able to ask a direct simple question. So that's what we provide.
Got you. Now you work really closely with the Department of Defense, and you're having some AI discussions and showing them projects that you guys are working on.
Yeah.
What are you seeing, or what do you think will possibly happen with AI and our military in the future?
I think there's going to be a lot of adoption of AI by the military, and it's not a replacement. It's really they want to create these human machine teams, and they want to use AI for what it's good at. Going through a lot of data, AI is great at that.
Hmm.
Being able to recognize patterns through like sensor technology, like videos, like right now in full motion video of like a predator coming off, you got people just watching the whole thing.
Hmm.
It's horrible. That's hours of their life they'll never get back, right? So let's have a machine do that, and let's automate away some of those tasks, and it's going to get better at that. Especially as it comes to these robotic systems that the military is really excited about and fielding, left and right. AI is definitely going to support the use of those robotic systems and the use of the data from those robotic systems.
Got you. And here's my last AI question. Do you see us going to a more robotic um force, manpower wise?
No, no, absolutely not. I
Okay,
think what it's doing, like if you look at the Ukraine, how are they using these small UAS systems a lot? They're using them as like indirect fire.
okay.
Instead of like calling in artillery or having to have some kind of indirect fire element that they can speak to. They have
Mhm.
an organic indirect fire element, so they can put a drone up, find a target, and then go and use a first person view drone to just crash into it and blow it up. Really simple, indirect fire, which, in people highlight the robotic systems, they highlight the drones, this is warfare, right? Like we've been
Yes,
doing indirect fire a long, long time. This is
yes, they
just a
have.
new way to do it.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. Hey, so for anyone that wants to learn more about your company, yourself, and maybe even connect with you, where should they go? What can they connect with you at?
So they can find us on the web at certiscore.com or on LinkedIn. We're all over LinkedIn. You can find me there. Just reach out, do I guess what it was a friend request. Like I didn't have social media when I was in the military before. I didn't do any of this stuff. I didn't know
Yes,
about PR marketing, but yeah, just find me on LinkedIn, connect with me. We can talk more there.
absolutely. So connect with Jake and his company on LinkedIn and his website. Give us the website one more time.
www.certis, Certus core, core.com.
Certiscore.com. Hey, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Jake, we want to thank you for joining us on the VET SOS podcast today. On behalf of the VET SOS family, we'd like to thank you and everyone for joining us today. And you can find the VET SOS podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, and all social media platforms. Make sure to subscribe and follow VET SOS so you don't miss anything. And like I said in the beginning, remember, don't drown to see a transition. Grab the VET SOS lifeline. Thank you, man, for joining us on the show today, brother.
Thank you, Maurice.
Absolutely. And that ends the show.